Okay, what's up, everybody? Hello, we're on the planning segment of the day. We had to revert back to the first one. If you guys don't know, some of you guys were with me when I actually revamped my schedule. Um, so right now we're getting into the process of getting back to it. Now, the issue that I've had with planning is that I have some emotional stressors that are related to employment. And so I found that with the employment segment, I had to really um, open that up a little bit more. I had it set where it was only 1 hour per day, and I had all my circuits set at 1 hour a day, which worked really great for me. But as it stands, employment is really a priority as well. So once again, this is a fundraiser because we are trying to build the Art of Good Incorporated.com. It's a really good purpose. If you visit the website, you will see it. Um, you're following me through my journey and my progress and my process. And perhaps, these may be some of the things that you need to tackle as well. I stressed every day about how important the planning section session was because when I came into the informidable employment um, item, it really impacted me emotionally to the point where I had to step away from everything. And what was disappointing to me about it was that it took up so much of my time and so much of my day. I was happy with it when it got equal parts as all of the other items that I have listed in my day. And I kind of did a breakdown out loud. If you want to, you can go look at some of the candid videos, not the ones with AOG. I talk about it, exactly what it was that kind of was a stressor to me and why I felt the way that I did. I'm going to share with you guys I'm going to share with you everything. Why not? I'm going to share with you guys my task list, my task management list. Right now, I'm updating it. That's part of my planning session. Um, Let me see if I can get that up for you, hopefully, pretty quickly. Um, and I may have removed it from the list, but I think I need to add it back. Again, total disclosure, because I mean, it's very important for me to reach out to you guys and to um, be on the same accord so that you guys know. I want you to know who I am and what I do and all of the steps that I take to try to maintain and get there. And I want you guys to um, hopefully find it something that you can really support. Let me make sure. Let's see what I have open here. I'm just going through and making sure that I close out things that I don't need. And I should have already one of these open, but we'll see how it goes. Did it select it? Oh, okay, looks good. So what I do, and you guys weren't present for this part of it, basically I track my day, and it's to hold me accountable for time. Sometimes those of us that have been traumatized, we go through emotional issues where, again, we might get really sad about something, or you know, usually for me, it's sadness and it's related to employment. So, um, but what helps is that if you have a task planner or anything that's overwhelming can really trigger that type of response. But if you have a task planner, basically you are keeping track of your time and you see what there is to be next. So all I did was from yesterday, I copied over the column over, and these are my stats from yesterday. My weight was at 194.6. I just weighed myself this morning, and sometimes we have an issue with it freezing up, which is what's going on right now, but that's okay. Um, but when I weighed myself this morning, I got down to 193.6, which is great. And you guys, everything, this is a fundraiser. And when I say fundraiser, it's not just financial support, it's support in general. And I think a lot of times there's a lot of emphasis put on finances. Finances are very important, but but uh but support as in the form of encouragement, viewership, that's also very important as well. So I do track um the amount of time that the watch hours and if they increase and decrease and things like that. I haven't actually been taking action on it. You know how you should probably, if you see things are decreasing, change up a little bit. But the first part for me is the internal healing, and hopefully you guys will be able to see something good in that and be able to process it. So right now I'm just going to check very quickly, the watch hours, as it stands on YouTube, it's going to take a minute because the easy way is on the phone and it's starting up. So, and that's the thing too, we have to watch our emotional health because it impacts a lot of things. Like last night, my phone was allowed to die all the way down, and there's no reason for that. I'm in my home, I have electricity. There's no reason for me not to. Today's already the 8th. Not to have a fully charged phone at all time. But that's why we have to get out of our emotions and into our goals and into our focus. So, just taking a look here for the watch hours, we have 25:48. So thank you to those people that took 8 hours of their day to watch yesterday and support or otherwise, because any type of interaction is support, whether it's good or bad. I do appreciate everything that I get. So we're going to take a quick look also at TikTok and look at the stats that we have there. I think yesterday we left off with 3929 as far as subscribers. Again, I do appreciate your support. Everything is towards the Art of Good Incorporated, 3934. So we gained 4 more, which is awesome. So we're doing good. We're trending positively. So that's a good thing. So we can hide this column because we're done with that. Let me make sure that I went all the way down. And yeah, I had, something else going on yesterday. And actually, I need to update this a little bit because yesterday, yeah, mental health, fresh air, right? And I'm just going to chalk it all up to mental health. And it is always employment related and recovering. So that's what we're gonna do. I didn't used to classify things that way, but I do now. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but for whatever reason, I was okay with it, so I let that be. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide those columns because we're done with that. As y'all can see, we're trending positively um, with that. And then this morning, I didn't get to sleep until late last night. Again, the same thing. I had really difficult time sleeping. And I slept until about 6:37 this morning. And then I did attempt to get up. And I call this winding, but basically what it is that when you wake up and you just lay there for a minute. And again, I used to graph it so that I can see, but we're not there yet. So we took too much time doing that, but that's okay. So happy Saturday to everyone. I was mentioning too, a lot of my vlogs on TikTok are about me. Um, a lot of my vlogs on TikTok are about me about how I don't even realize it's the weekend anymore, you know? So I'm going to try to affirm, even though I have the time and date and everything up there, it's like I'm not even really paying attention to it. So I'm going to affirm verbally every day. Today is Saturday, April 8th, 2023. And, happy Saturday to everyone that has a traditional weekend work week, or traditional work week where they have the weekends off. Um, Schedule this for planning. And we're just going to go through the list is what we're doing right now. Um yeah, so let's look together. We'll look at the list that we have scheduled for planning. Usually, I could, well, I guess I should, since y'all are here with me, I should plan, go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna put it out for an hour, and we'll update each segment as we come along. As you guys see, there is a timer. What happened just now? As you guys see, there is a timer to the left, and it's broken down in 5 minute increments, and it's meant to keep me on track with my time. Um, Another thing that I really talk about is diversity. You know, we're all very different and have different needs and have different experiences, which create those different needs. All this that I'm doing here is to keep me on track and to keep me motivated, because when you have depression or things like that, it's very hard to stay motivated. You know, it feels good to sit and crawl up in your little corner, but we can't do that. We have goals that we have. So that's definitely, not a real, um, not an option for me. Definitely not an option for me at all. So, we definitely have to do that. I think I'll have like an hour viewable, so it's just not like the whole thing. Um, yeah. So if that's a question that you guys have, and I also want to make sure that I'm able to see, make sure that I'm able to see where, if there's someone that has a comment or someone that's visited, I want to pay attention to that, because there may be, just like church, people go to church. And like I said, I don't really go anymore, but a lot of times when folks go to church, they get disappointed because they go there and they're looking for the other good people that are there. And sometimes it's very hard to find, because everybody has gotten so the real people have gotten so disenchanted. They're not even looking anymore. They're just, going through it without even paying attention. But I want, and it's hard for me because sometimes I look and I see that there's nobody there, but there is a purpose here. And sometimes it's hard for me, but I need to make sure that I have the views and the comments up, so that if by chance there's a straggler that comes in, the stream is already delayed. So it'll take 10 minutes for me to see their comment, 10 minutes for me to respond back to it because I don't see it. So I want to be on top of that because I really want people here. I really believe this is a cause that's worth it. So we're going to go through now to my goals list, which breaks down everything that should be under planning. Like I said before, I would feel kind of iffy about that because, you put your whole goals up there. Yeah, yeah, I am. I most certainly am. I am. Um, Certainly am. Because, like I said, I know I'm not the only one. There may be others that have the same. And for me, it's nothing in my life that I need to be embarrassed of or ashamed of, because, I love me some me, and I love, just like I always quote Snoop Dogg on that song where he says, I just want to thank me. I do. I'm still standing. I'm still here. There have been many situations where, and I'm going to put up the list in just a minute. Let me see if I can somehow, I don't know if I can get both. Maybe I don't need an hour of the task list. Let's break that down a little bit smaller. But you're still standing. Everybody that's still standing, you can't feel bad about yourself, because you, my friend, are a survivor. You've been through all kinds of things that people, may have been embarrassed to share. You've been falsely accused. Let me talk about all mine. Falsely accused by the legal system. You've been talked about. You've been had negative things said about you. In your face, behind your back, and in your face, behind your back at the same time. You're still standing. I've been disowned by my family. I still standing. I'm so proud of me. And we have to look at all the value that we have in ourselves. So hopefully this list is the one that comes up. We'll see. I mean, yeah, I might have to remove it and bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back. But yeah, so this is accountability. This is my accountability to myself. This is my accountability to my nonprofit. This is my accountability to, future employers, all of that. It's accountability. And I believe that it's very important because I expect certain things out of, people, places that I go to. And, if I'm not demonstrating that, because we're synergistic, we bounce off of each other. If I'm not demonstrating that these things are important to me and you don't see it, you can put any kind of tag or label. And because I'm a good person, sometimes we acquiesce to that. But, that's definitely not a great thing. I think I'm going to have to do a whole new one because that one doesn't want to show up. Sometimes with the platform that I'm using, when I change the screen resolution, it takes things out. And for some reason, my resolution keeps changing back on my monitor. So um, sometimes I find myself having to re-add things. And also, I'm very open about what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, what I'm trying to do. So if you guys hear me say something or say something where you feel that you could be a help, jump in by all means. Please do, you know, um, please do. Because that's the whole point, is to help each other, to grow each other, to feed off of each other. Speaking of which, if you go to theartofgoodincorporated.com, there is a portion in the forums. There is a portion in the forums that this thing about accountability too. When you see, what's there and how it's there, it also pushes me to, because sometimes, being alone and you're not aware of what other people see. You know what I'm saying? It pushes me to format things or put things in a way that other people can understand and see. You know, so yeah, so that's what's going on here. So with the planning portion, and I guess we could bring that down some. I have I updated all my documents and logs. That's what I'm working on now. So yeah, but there's nothing open that shouldn't be open from what I can see. Everything's closed because that's another thing. When you get into doing whatever you're doing, you work on 20 things. You have 20 things open. Everything's closed and saved. I've already organized all my bookmarks. Okay, and then the managed by. And for those of you that don't know, there is a virus that people put on folks' computers remotely. Um, where it'll say managed by organization if you go to your settings in Chrome. And you want to, I don't know if I don't trust it, so I always remove it. And you can remove that by going into your regedit and deleting the Chrome policies, and that'll take care of that. Then you just have to close the browser and open it back up, and then you're good to go. So I'm good on that one. Now for the planning, okay, was the test to see if column is defaulting to wingdings? I don't think it is. Let me see. Because I changed over. If you guys don't know, I had this really funny story about um, Microsoft Office and LibreOffice. Yeah, LibreOffice. And, I was a little, okay, so it's not. So this one is good. We can mark that off the list. Ensure timers on all the pages. I'm good for now. I have one on this page. That's good enough for me. And this I'm going to put on like a little recurring so that I make sure that I do that on each page. Ensure secondary is set to view. I do have that done. So kudos to me on that. Good job. I didn't test my sound. I'm going to test my sound really quick. So you're going to see like a double, hear a double. And also, can I hear anything? Okay, I think I have it double muted. Okay, good to go. So also, if you guys are at work, I mean, if you're like me, Saturdays, when I'm employed, I like to work on Saturdays. Those are my days. You can put the captions on so you can see. And I don't care if you share. I really, because that's what I'm about. I'm about trying to, build a community. And how if we don't see each other, and if, folks don't want people to share things no, I'm not. I'm completely open. Um, and that's the way that I move. So anyway, so I do have that set to view on to set the move. Okay, so and sometimes I've noticed in some of my on some of my streams, like when I got discombobulated by employment, that I didn't have the music going. But right now I'm going to be talking a lot. When I get to the segments where I'm doing employment and things like that, I won't. And what I think I'll do to make it more interesting for you guys, I'll maybe even share a job, a job that I know is hiring, and that you will, if you need a job, you'll get a job. You know what I'm saying? Ensure all cameras are working. I did do that this morning. See, I'm doing pretty good already. So far, I've already accomplished a little bit, right? Lock all windows in place. I'm not sure that I want to lock everything right now, so I'll just put that on recurring. And it is on recurring. Okay. All right. So next up I have what's supposed to be that discipline self-love sign. And I'm going to put a poll. I'm going to let you decide. Should I print out that sign? I think I should. I put it on the list. On one hand, I think I should because I have this, y'all seen it. It's an atrocity that I use as a phone stand. It's a homemade phone stand. But I was going to stick it on the back of that because sometimes when things get hard, I have to remind myself that self discipline is the most base root form of self love. Without discipline, you don't have anything else. You know what I'm saying? Without it, you don't have anything else. But what I don't want to be is one of those people that post all these things, and it's because I have a sign right here. I told y'all it's a tacky sign, but it's here when I started working on the businesses. But I was gung ho about it. I really was trying. It says I am the next millionaire, and I think maybe money is not my thing. And as y'all can see, that's just a sign. It completely is nowhere near the truth. So I don't know if I want to do the discipline or self love sign. I don't know, and maybe that's what I'll do. I'll get y'all's feedback on that. So let me pull it up, and then because it's on the list and it's not going to get off the list unless I do something towards it, right? So let me pull it up and take a look. How are we on time? We're okay on time. So I think we're okay on time. Yeah, we're okay. We're good on time. I don't even know why I'm worried about time right now. But talking about time, there was a song, and I'm gonna try if y'all can catch the melody. If you could tell me what you think the song is, it's from. Let me make sure this is on mute because I don't want it to blast and cause an issue. But yeah, but time is on my side. Yes, it is. It was a song on a creepy movie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The movie was called Fallen. And what the movie is about, and I talked, what am I doing? A poll. Okay, what I talked about um, was how, in the movie, the guy had an evil spirit. And he would just touch when he walked past. You know how you just brush against somebody when you walk past by mistake? It would transfer the spirit. And all of these different. I'm going to watch that movie again. I was scared to watch it. I didn't watch the whole movie because I was really frightened of those things. I don't like anything horror related. So, um, let me pick up that sign first because I think I might do it as an image poll. But I think I'm gonna watch it, and if I can, I'll just have a movie night on TikTok if I can find the movie. Um, so give me just a few moments, you guys. I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna put a little music on while it's quiet while I'm trying to find it. All right, you guys. So I found the sign. So I don't know. It might add just more clutter to my space because you already know that, clutter is something that I really struggle with. But let's see. Let's see what everybody thinks. Should I print out a discipline is the strongest form sign? It's the strongest form of self love sign. So, and I'm giving myself an hour, and we're gonna go through like that and see how it goes. Okay, they have two different options. I don't have two different options. So what I'll do is, do I want to do this? Maybe give y'all some music so y'all don't hear me thinking out loud. People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe with the touch of a hand. Me, I fall in love with you every single day. I just wanna tell you I am. In my loving arms, thousand stars. Is there a song that plays? What's the last song that just showed up in your mind? In my mind, you'll always be my lady. In my mind, you'll always be my girl. Let's see. Once again, I just want to show you guys some love. I really appreciate you being here for me and supporting me through my day um, and my endeavors. Maybe some of you have the same endeavors and challenges, and opportunities that I have in life. And if so, bless you, because it is a great set of opportunities to have, right? In my mind, you'll always be. I always liked Heather Headley. I didn't find out about her because of homelessness until like later times, but I like her songs. And who was it? I think she was the one that actually did the duet with Andrea Bocelli with La Preghiera. Oh my gosh, if you get a chance, please, go check out that video, that live video that she did with Andrea Bocelli. Sheesh. I mean, just everything about it, and then it was so beautiful. And I think part of it, inadvertently, that made it so great was the fact that he was an older, aesthetically, I'm sure he's not white, but older white guy, and this younger black woman, and a black woman that I didn't know a whole lot about, so I thought it was so beautiful. And then on top of that, he's blind. But what made me sad, and this all happens off, is he said he did the duet with Celine Dion, and it just went out the box. But to me, Heather Headley's version was so much more beautiful. And I'm so happy that she had an opportunity to do that. And hopefully, I know I give her all the respect that goes with that beautiful voice. And that's another thing. People with beautiful voices. I mean, that's such a gift, to be able to sing. I can't, but I do anyway. Maybe one day God will bless me. I think in my earlier years, I feel like I was better, but it may just be that I felt better. I don't know. Um, oh, it doesn't allow me to put any verbiage on it. Oh, yeah, it does. We'll say, all right. So I think I'm good at that. Um, all right. So the poll is out there if anybody wants to answer it. Anyways, on to the next thing. Now I can check that off that list. And that's the thing. Sometimes, and this is why, when they say discipline is the strongest form of love, let me turn the music down just in case. And this is the situation. When they say discipline is the strongest form of self-love, and the reason why is because it means that you take value in the plans that you set ahead for yourself, that you take value in that. And so y'all saw how I have that on the list, discipline, sign to print the sign, or not to print the sign. And the thing about it is that when I share it with the world, okay, I feel kind of weird. I just skip over that. It's not important. No, it's on your list for a reason. Value your time, the time that it took you to put it on the list, the time that it took for that thought to cross your mind. If you had a thought, you had a reason. Now, that's what it is. Now things are freezing up over here, but that's okay. So we're going to go back and look at that. So yeah, so now we're able to mark that off the list. It's not a recyclable thing. I just need to check the poll, and whatever the poll says, I may or may not do. So we addressed that today in my little scheme of things, right? So the next time I have quite revisit that question in my head, I can just check the poll, and if somebody wanted to help me with a decision on that, that's fine. So I have here print the self-discipline sign and affix the self-discipline sign. We're not doing that. Those are works in process based on the result of the quiz, because I have a dilemma with that. If I print it, am I just putting more clutter into the universe, and am I secretly telling the universe that that's not what I'm doing because I'm having to say it versus then portray it? you know, I'm happy. I need to be it till I see it. Not say it. I need to portray it. But anyhow, going on. So, do I have anything? Disable the remote desktop. These things I think can go on a side column here. Let me see. Can I open that up more? Okay. So, these things have been combined all chores and hygiene. I did that already. That's long gone. Add social networking to clutter workout list. That's long gone. See, these things are getting accomplished. Open the appropriate label picture for each already. That's long gone. Get drop down list back. That's long gone. Okay, so that's off my list. All right, so I'm good. My list, no, I'm not. There's a lot of stuff down at the bottom. A lot of stuff down at the bottom. But good. We're good on everything on the right hand side. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. I'm gonna look a little bit more, and we're down here to the goals that I set yesterday, and we'll look at that when I get down there, when I get to line 36. But right now, I'm working up here. So up here, I'm good with everything. We clear this out. Disable remote desktop. Do I want to move this to my regular list or not? How much time do I have left? I'm good on time. Do I want to move this to my regular desk list or not? Um, I think I should code it a little bit differently. Oh no, that's weird. What did it just do? It just decided, and see this, I didn't even notice that. If I hadn't looked up, I wouldn't have seen that. That it decided to change up my items here. That's interesting. How did that happen? That's weird. Yeah, that was really weird. I didn't even touch that. But anyhow, where are we on time? You're not showing the right one. So, all right. So, disabled remote desktop. I want to put that on recurring. It should be good, but um, I don't really know how I feel about that. Oh, thank you. I see a thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. The encouragement. I love you. I appreciate that. That is so positive, so encouraging, so enriching, so special to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Disable remote desktop. Do I want to like put in? And the reason that I'm thinking about that super hard is because um, it's one thing that it's disabled, but another thing where I go in to make sure that everything's secure. You know what I mean? And that's going to take me to set aside some time, and I don't really know. you know, uh, I think I'm gonna put this on the list another way. So yeah, I'm gonna. I have on the bottom. I have a series of things that are, I guess, technically on that list. Change default save location. I want to secure that later. Get rid of cloud. Uninstall LibreOffice. Research Georgia housing. Now, I think I need to move that to a category. This list is just a planning list, which is like a catch-all for everything. But I need to move that to an actual category that goes into, I have a lot of different categories at the bottom. And I think just so that it doesn't disrupt what you guys see, I'm going to open up a new window. If you guys don't know, if you're working in a spreadsheet, you can have two instances of that same document up. All you have to do is, and this is in Word too, for any program, for Word or Excel, that's basically what I use, but I use other products too, but if you want to have two instances of the same window open, like let's say if you're in Word and you're on one section of a document, but you also want to be able to reference another section of the document, if you go to View and you go to New Window, you can open that other section and they do scroll independently. And you can do the same thing with Excel too. And I'm gonna do that because I don't want to like move the screen that y'all are looking around at. Because what I want to do now is the portion. Do y'all see this yet? No, it's right just out of y'all's sight. And move that up again. So I want to. The next one is the research Georgia housing. I want that off of my planning list. That needs to be on an actual, task list that I actually need to take care of and get accomplished. So where's my grabber? Because again, my big atrocious phone stand is doing this thing here. If y'all wonder what it looked like. And this is what I was going to use the self discipline sign to cover this phone stand that I made. Um, Everybody's so creative. But anyhow, those two like negative things, if somebody did people of Walmart on me, it would stick. And everybody's so creative, that would stick too, sadly. But let's move on. So, and that goes with food too. I started out making one thing and it turns out to be something completely different. So anyhow, I'm looking for a place, a to-do list, an actual task list to get that research Georgia housing in on because that needs to be actively worked on. So the tabs that I have here, what segment could it go under? It wouldn't go under business research. I guess kind of like under the art of good. It'll be a resource. So let me go to my business research tab and add it to that. So it's actually an item that's in queue to be worked on. Um, business research, yes. And then research Georgia housing. And everything that I research in this, it needs to go on the website. So yeah. And again, if you have an opportunity, visit theartofgoodincorporated.com. I would like for you guys, if you have a chance to either share your story, of any of those things that you see listed on there, or even more so, there is a discussion, discussion forum there for a needs exchange, where you would just list top three things you need or want, whatever it is that your mind or heart desires, and everybody sharing those things. And then eventually, somebody sees something, it could be small. It could be like, I needed somebody to say hi to me today. Somebody to say hi, or it could be something big. I need $1 million. I wouldn't post something like that. But if somebody has it and it's in their heart, then you're matching yourself up with people that want to give and that want to be supportive. So there are people that want to give. Because I know that I absolutely want sometimes to be of some use to somebody. So I can move this off of this list because I think that I moved that to my research, Georgia housing. Yeah, it's there. So I'm good. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that from here because I've moved that to a weigh-in. We've already done the weigh-in, and that needs to be part of my morning cycle. So I'm going to move that to my morning. That things that you see where that big block circle is, those are things that, they're on the plan list, but it's something that, I can, it's not a top, it's something that I can hold off on. I've done the basics and taken care of that. So where do I want to put the weigh-in? I want it at the top somewhere. Uh, This needs to just go above the self-discipline thing. So we'll move those three down. We'll move those down and move them back up. Punks jump up to get your feet down. Do the way in. But I guess that goes with updating all my document and logs. That the way in goes there. So I guess I really don't have to even put that there because the way in like naturally goes to the update. And I just put in parentheses. Or do I want to? I don't know. I don't know how I want to do that. Yeah, I'll put it there just in case I'm having a bad day and I miss it one day. But it naturally goes with updating. No, I'm not going to do that. That's just some extra stuff. It naturally goes with updating all the logs. Okay, so update at some status. I just talked about that. Photo. I'm supposed to take a photo every day, and I wanted to take it during my planning period. But if I'm on camera all day, I don't think I'm doing that. I'm good. I feel like I'm okay not to do that. Ensure all the lights are out. That was the reason I did that because when I was doing um, like in the morning, I would get up and go to the restroom and fill up my water bottles. That was part of my planning too. I need to put that back on here. And actually, that is on here. That is on here. And then I would end up leaving lights on because I'm rushing. And that's the part, that's why we want to make sure we have enough time. And that's why planning periods are so important. People overlook them, but they're so important because I'll be rushing to get to the workout station because I'm rushing to put the water in and then I leave the lights on. And then, like, even today, like when I was trying to work out, I have a stool that I had pushed under this table and my foot was kicking the stool and it was annoying me. And so those things, I need to put that on my list. Make sure the stool, everything is ergonomically okay. And I need to clean out this fan because I can see the dust on it, in it, which probably is really not good for me. But anyhow, so okay, so that was something that's on my list. And I'll check the poll tomorrow to see what you guys have to say if I should print it or not. Um, then I want to fill up the water station. So I'm going to set up my water station. And I said fix the appearance of the phone, but they go to the sign. I'm feeling like, where am I at one time? Oops, it's time to switch up. See, and this is what I mean, just as you get into it. So am I going to switch up task right now? Or I'm going to stick with this right now? I'm going to say, so, because I'm not doing time anyway. This is like the reset day where yesterday we reset everything, but today is putting the reset in order. And over the days as we go through it, it'll perfect and perfect until we did like we did last time when we were right on schedule all the time. But anyway, so After I check the poll for that, then I can set up my workstation and workstation, workout station, whatever. I need to have my water station filled for refills. So I need to have fill all water bottles. Let's just break that down into pure English. Fill all water bottles. I need them all filled, right? And then when I say set up the workstation, just to make sure it's clean and neat in appearance. What am I doing over here? Cleanse. Okay, because I have the cap locks off. I don't know why. So that clean and neat in appearance. I want to make sure my workstation is clean and neat in appearance. I want to fill all of my water bottles. Dang. And then I want to make sure that any items under the table are push back all items under the table, which is basically my stool. Well, that's all that should be under there. Okay, and then what else do I have on here? And even these little things matter because, like I said, if you miss them, like I was slightly annoyed by that my foot touching that stool. I was kicking it out of the way. I have ensure all the lights are out, and I don't need to worry about that. So ensure all the push back off. Fill all water bottles, and we're gonna ensure all the lights are out before that, right? All the unneeded lights. The one in the front typically stays on. Okay, so I feel good about these things. These things are okay for me. Um, I'm okay with the way those are listed. And then you and I, you two, we went over this yesterday where we went through and we, planned out this is how our days are going to look going forward. And, it's still some revamping to do because y'all know I cried yesterday and that wasn't a good use of time. So we're pretty good on the planning portion. So give yourselves a pat on the back and a hand because you guys were here for me through this. I really appreciate that. So I think we're pretty good. Um, we're pretty good on the planning portion. Did we fill all the water bottles? I say that, but look, there's no check. And see, this is why the lists are important for some of us if you have depression or other issues, or you're just getting back into society because, whatever, it's good to have, right? So, because I was going to move on, but look, these things don't have any check marks or anything beside them. So let's take a look. As far as setting up the workstation and cleaning it, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Y'all don't see everything, but So I have chapstick sitting on this table. Does chapstick belong on the table? No, it does not. Where should we put the chapstick? And I haven't taken care of hygiene, but that's coming up. It's coming up, you guys. Don't worry. So the workstation includes what you can't see too. So, and this sweater is just a go-to sweater in case I have a quote unquote meeting. I can just throw it on and I'll be okay. For me, I'll be okay. I'm all right with it. I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Somehow I have roaster bags over here that don't belong here because they belong over here, which is a scary part because y'all know bugs. I don't know what they got going on with my condiments. Why they want to mess with my condiments? Their condiments. All right. So is this neat enough for me? I don't know. Bugs, bugs. You know how Jay-Z had that song, Girls, 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 Girls? I'm thinking bugs, 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 bugs. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, full disclosure. And I think, too, just like I talked about, my body and how, people were just like, people are just abashed that, oh my gosh, she shows somebody. But that's the thing. If you see what you need to work on, then it's good. And then also people with the right mindset can see too, and they can, probably give you pointers or tips. Um, I remember when I was little, not little, but younger, people would all, and I think it was their insecurity. People would always say, oh, she thinks she know everything. No, I don't. I always ask for input and feedback. I always, even now, always input and feedback. People's opinions are valuable to me, Um, sometimes they may hurt, but after you get through the hurt, you understand, what processes, you take what you can out of it. What is it that I can get out of this? Is there something here that I think is viable, that I can improve myself on? You know, any interaction to me is for a reason. And I'm gonna start taking the probiotics again. So I took them out and put them on the table. And see, this is how I start clutter. Here, I got scrap paper. Okay, this is how clutter starts. Do I have a place where I can put this, or is it just gonna be a random paper that's gonna get on my nerves? All right, so how do I feel about the workstation? And then the keyboard drop. See, and this is too why cleaning the workstation is important because in my rushing, because I was not, you know, on task on time, but we're fixing it. And that's another thing to acknowledge where your shortcoming was. Dang. To acknowledge where your shortcoming was so that you can address it. You can pretend it never happened now, but it happened. There was a shortcoming that was there. And that shortcoming, me not being on time, and it resulted in me rushing to do things. And it resulted in my keyboard falling on the floor. And I would have forgot because everything was so rushed. I would have forgot that the keyboard, and this is how clutter happens. One thing leads to another. I would have forgotten that the keyboard fell on the floor if I didn't take the time to quote unquote actively attempt to clean up my workspace, right? Because it was out of sight. I don't see it. I didn't see the keyboard. It's down here on the floor, you know, and I can't get to it without moving everything. And I'm not trying to move everything. So let's see what we can do to make this work out. Um, but yeah, and I wouldn't have, still wouldn't have seen it really because if I wasn't clearing my workspace, because I would have been like, okay, I finished all the major things on my little planning task list, but I needed to look down. Hey, setting up your workspace, you know, cleaning your work, clearing, tidying up your workspace is important. Um, there you go. Finally got the keyboard up. So I wouldn't have seen it if I didn't go through and look at my list. So again, that's why self-discipline and I see, and that's what I said. Forget the right word. Is self-discipline is the greatest form of self-love, and that's why because when you're disciplined, you're telling yourself that your thoughts matter, that what you put into your life matters, that you actually have a desire to achieve and accomplish these things, that you didn't waste your time thinking about it, you didn't waste your time talking about it, you didn't waste your time writing about it without any action to go to it. So, that discipline of me going through that entire list and giving respect to each item I have on there is so important because again that keyboard would have sat there forever, which would have added to clutter, which would have added to me weighing down my spirit because why do I feel this way? Because this place is freaking cluttered. And why? How did this happen? It's just me because little things you're rushing. You're not following your planned schedule. And speaking of which, I'm glad I just remembered I need to set my alarm clock because regardless of what's going on, my body is trained 7 a.m. We working out. It's trained on that, and because I think it sees something actual in the physical world that has to happen. But yeah, we need to set an alarm. Let's set an alarm for 4:45 a.m. because we're going to make sure that we are up. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to set the alarm for 4:45 a.m. And I'm going to put this temporarily on the list and I can move it. But that's okay. But it's so important, to pay attention to your plans. And and I started to talk about this, um, about people were talking about gain stalking, and I was what is that? Set alarm for 4:45 a.m. I was like, what is that, right? And I didn't understand it because it was just sounded crazy to me. I didn't get it and it's so weird. And crazy is not a word that I like to use because it's just disregarding or not. It's being lazy to find out what's really going on. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, let me do my alarm here. So we got the clock. Okay, alarm. And the alarm that we're going to have is going to be for 4:45 a.m. every morning. And eventually my body will train to that time. 4:45 a.m. Whether I'm working, especially if I'm working, I need to definitely be up because you need to give your first, how you give your tithes and offerings to God? You need to give your first due to you. Your first morning hours to you. You need to give it to you first. So we're repeating this alarm 4:45 every morning. What's this 10 minutes? I'll leave it as is. Just make sure, I just have to make sure that my volume is on. Maybe I'll set it in two different places so that if for some reason one thing happens with one alarm, I'll have the other one. Because no, I take myself very seriously, and I take my success very seriously. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be. I'm going to be. It takes some strength training. It's not overnight. And sometimes when you're open in public about it, you know, you open yourself to other things, but we're not doing that. We're going to be successful. Even if it's in the smallest form, and all these little things during the day, those are little successes. And I encourage you too to celebrate for yourself the little successes. Celebrate that you freaking woke up this morning. Celebrate that you rolled out of bed, even the littlest things. Celebrate those little things. And when they come to, they'll lead to bigger things to celebrate. Let me continue down so we can celebrate what's on this list. So I did go ahead and get that alarm set. So that's good, right? But I keep it on the list to make sure. I check it off, but I keep it on there if there are things that I need to make sure that tomorrow it goes off. Because if it doesn't go off, I know that's on the list again to do. So I was working on cleaning up my workstation. What else do I have here? I have this little thing. I need to find. We need to get out to the she shed because my Wakanda girl is out there. This is a black Polly Pocket chick, which again is Clutter, but it's here. Why do I have this? Because the gas station, the gas station, has things that they put on sale that are like overstocked, and they were like these little Kinder eggs for like I don't know 5 cents. Chocolate eggs are so good, and that was in it. Little chocolate girl and a little chocolate egg. So wonderful. I'm a chocolate girl to a certain extent. I have chocolate. What kind of chocolate am I? I don't know. Milk chocolate. But I'm chocolate and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So anyways, and if you see me wandering around or doing this, or when you see my face frowned up, when I'm on camera, it's not because I have to take a dump. It may be, but it's not because I have a bad attitude or I'm negative. It's because there's a fly buzzing around and I'm trying to tune it out. That's what I was talking about, game stalking about. But when I get to commentary, I talk about that because it'll take me too much time to try to get into it right now. So anyway, so I did that. I set the alarm, set up the workstation to clean it, and I still have this chapstick sitting right here. But that's okay. I'm gonna let the chapstick live right here. Um, Charger for my phone. Let me go ahead and get my extension cord ready. And at night, I know I like to sleep with my phone, which I need to stop doing that. Maybe that'll help me too. I need to put the phone down. If my time is not allotted for me to be on my phone, I don't need to be on it. That's why, because I'm scrolling through TikTok. That's not okay. It's okay for me to check my comments and stuff because, that's a way of interlocution. But for me to be sitting on my phone and scrolling and going through nah, it's not okay. I have other things that my mind needs to, and those things are viable because again, it does help me to um, self-actualize because there's things that I can relate to. But I need to, if it's that important, I'll put it on the schedule. That's how it is. So all the lights are out in the back, and now I'm skipping over the water bottle. That is something that I need to do. The workstation clean, that's a work in progress. I'm okay with what it is. Am I workable? I am. How do I feel about what I see on the side counters? Let me do that because that's gonna distract me too if I look up and I see just hella shit everywhere. So let me just get in there. I can do it for you. Okay, peppermints. Whoops. And see, this is how the peppermints, like I said, end up getting everywhere. Peppermints. And we're gonna go through the list. Like I said, just I should have some extra peppermints. I'm looking for my extra peppermints here. I know I have some extra ones because I'm about to run out of those. Yep, here we go. Peppermints, baby. Ice, baby. To get your mouth icy cold. So I got these from Dollar Tree, a red one and a green one. I'm gonna keep them on standby, but I'm not gonna bring them over here because they don't belong over here. I'm gonna keep them in the condiments and food item section. So does this table look okay? It needs to be wiped down. And see, this is why I don't like to really look at it because my mind looks at it and then I see every little thing wrong and it's just taking forever. So instead of doing that, we're gonna be responsible. We know that stuff needs to be wiped down. Let me make sure that on my clutter list that I have that on there. So that is is actually going to be addressed at some point, right? Let's make sure that that is on my clutter list. So I have chores. Do I have wipe down counters? I do have wipe down counters on there. I'm gonna not gonna just put counter. I'm gonna put wipe down all surfaces because it needs it. All wipe down and sanitize all surfaces because this place, it's not okay. I'm not a bug person. I shouldn't. I don't want that. So wipe down and sanitize all surfaces. All right, good. And the same thing with the floors. See, now I'm going into clutter. I shouldn't be doing this. Wipe down and sanitize all floors. We're not playing no more. Playtime is over. We are not playing no more. See, now here's the fly coming back around. Okay, so now back to my planning list. We're gonna make sure we get everything checked off and fill all water bottles. That's where we are. Fill all water bottles. And these are all things that have to happen to start my day. And once I go through this, like I said, once it should be like clockwork every time after that. And that's why, with the employment thing, I think the same thing will be true. I won't have to do a full 8 hours if, bear with me, I'll be right back. And to actually refill all water bottles, it takes some time because I have to wait for the filter to percolate before I can refill the next one. So this one is ready for me to drink. So I'll put this here, supposedly ready for me to drink. And then I have these two that I'm going to fill. How do I feel about this table? Let me get this cleared off real quick. And even though I don't actively work in this space, this is my work area too. Because, like I said, when I look up, this is what I have to look at, and don't nobody want to look at. And the mail is where what you're hearing rustling is the mail on top of the bag, not in the bag where the mail is supposed to be. And this bag is damn full. This is, we definitely have to get some point to go through this mail. All right, so am I okay with this? No, because then I have receipts that I threw on top of here, and they're not in the receipt bag. They're just sitting on a table, and that's not okay. All right, so there we go. In the receipt bag you go. Then I have change. Let's put them in the piggy bag. Piggy bank, piggy bank. I want to say piggyback like baby back ribs. And I should have another. I don't know if I threw away that other one that I had. But I guess all the silvers can go in there. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So how do I feel about that section? Is it pretty? No, but everything's where it's supposed to be. And I do need to wash dishes. I do have washing dishes on my list, so I don't have any qualms about that. Then what do I have over here? I have this phone stand. Why do I have this phone stand? Does this go to this phone? I have so many phone stands. It's not even funny. Like, I don't know. Let me put this over. Okay, it's electronics, and I still don't know where my remote control is. It's been missing for a few days, and this is the only area that I'm in, so it's probably dropped behind here somewhere because I saw a fly swatter over here, but I don't see anything over here. Let me pull this table out a little bit. No, but I do have another fly swatter. I should have four of these fly swatters. I only know where two of them. And see, that's how waste gets too. I have four fly swatters, and I bought four fly swatters for a reason, but I only have two that I know where they are. All right, I'm gonna look a little bit deeper over here to see if I can find that remote control. And that's the other thing. Now as I'm over here, like I said, one thing leads to another. Because now that I'm over here, I'm looking and I'm like, I need to sweep. But I'm sure sweeping is on the list, but I'll double check just to make sure because that's something. And when you see things that get on your nerves, it's gonna always get on your nerves until it's taken care of. Did I drop the remote fall back here this way? I haven't seen that remote control in so long. It's been literally like 2 or 3 days. I don't see it. Is it maybe on the lip of a container and that's why I can't see it? No. No, no remote. And usually when I do my workouts for the past few days and I was starting to get into the habit of doing it, I go into the arms. But I didn't today because I need to find stretches for that first. The ballet thing is really good because it starts off with your stretches and ends with stretches. So I need to find a stretch routine to make sure that I start off my arm workout and end it with. I don't know where the remote control is. I hope I hope this is not true, but it could be. Life is so crazy for me. Where when I took out the trash, I was so fed up with it that somehow the remote fell in the trash. And I think about when I had stuff on the ironing board. It is a possibility it could have been sat on the ironing board, but I don't know. I don't need to be watching TV anyway, so whatever. All right, so let's go. But I usually use it at the end of the night when I'm having my dinner and relaxing. I'll watch a movie and I'll see this one is already open. I don't want to do one that's open already. I'll watch a movie and stream it on TikTok. So I don't feel so all alone. I'll have TikTok to watch it with me, even if they're not really there. I don't know. I try not to pay attention as to if they're there or not because that impacts. See, I have so many of these halfway open, and this is another barrier to me. Like I want to take these, but I know I have some that are half open already, and I don't want to keep opening new bottles. Well, anyways, I'll go ahead and do it because I will put. Um, I will just add it to that because it's so little that they can all basically fit into one bottle. So this is probiotic acidophilus. People say it's really. I don't know if I should be taking it or not. I took it for a while and I thought I saw results, but it may be a combination of me actually moving a little bit. But I'm gonna take them because I bought them. Why not, right? Plus, I needed some water too, so it's kind of convenient to do it right now. All right, so I think I'm ready. Is my water percolated? Yep. So we can refill another water bottle. All right, and then one more fill, and I should be good to go. All right, so we're done with that portion. Let me double check my list and see if I feel like I'm really good to go here. So that's in the process. I have the last one going, so I'm good. Push back all items under the table so they're out of the way. I'm sitting on the stool. That's the main culprit, so I'm okay with that. So I'm good on that. And that's it. So now I am good. All of these things are on weight, and we're working towards getting our regular schedule up and going. So I'm good on that. So now we can pat ourselves on the back and congratulate ourselves for a job well done on the planning section. So we're moving on to the next, which is hygiene. I will see you guys. Remember Chuck Willery and the Love Connection in 2 and 2. It'll be less than 2, but I'll see you guys soon. Yay! We did it. Oh, don't forget if you get a chance, go to thearticleincorporated.com on the forums where it has needs exchange. If you could please share three of your top needs or wants. And the idea behind it is that when everybody shares their needs or wants, if somebody else sees a need or want that they can supply, it could be something as small as I need somebody to say hello. I need somebody to give me their opinion on this, or just something. It could be something small, or it could be something bigger. I'm homeless and I need some socks, or I'm a top executive and I need somebody to vent to. Just whatever it is. We need to love each other and build a sense of community where we care about what other people want and need, and if we're able to, we're willing to support that. Anyways, I love you. I'll see you guys in a few seconds. In a minute or two. 2 minutes or less, probably. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be back soon.